Dr. Ken Doka coined the term disenfranchised grief. The story behind how that came about is fascinating, and I think it'll help us relate to our experience and know that we should be seeking ways to express and searching for the right people in our lives to be able to witness and to hold space for us around our grief and times of grieving. He was a professor, and in one of his classes in the early 80s, they were talking about grief and loss as it relates to widows and what their experience might be. One of the members in his class raised her hand and said, I think it would be a whole lot worse if your ex-spouse died. Well, he was intrigued, and so he asked her to explain more, and she gave a story about how she'd been married for 25 years and her husband cheated on her, divorced, and then less than 2 years later he died from cancer. Now, here is the father of her children, her childhood sweetheart, and people in her life were responding to the news of his passing with, good, now you're rid of him. Her experience was she was still hurt and angry about the way that he had treated her, and she also felt a deep sorrow and sadness. Yet the people in her life were not accepting and making space. They weren't willing to see and accept who she was and all of the little nuances of what her experience might have been. So, do you have something in your life that you feel you have been disenfranchised from the grief of its loss? We have had many different experiences in our lifetime, and if you have been brushed aside or not welcomed to explain and express what your experience is, then you may be in an experience of disenfranchised.